What hobbies instantly makes a person undateable? Let's see. How are these for red flags? Selects friends and partners via horoscope and natal chart. Obsessed with being around and interested in a very specific subsection of society. Haute couture fashion is a religion. Cat enthusiast. Longest relationship was 18 months. Dates multiple partners at the same time, but not in a relationship. Impulse buys clothing and shoes and then returns the items. Life goals include holidays and travel and owning a bar. How many of those do you consider red flags, green flags? When I was dating, I couldn't date the gym rats. I was just never into the types of dudes whose whole personality was spending hours at the gym each day. My friends were, and the dudes they dated were all exactly the same guy. It was like they came in a box off the shelf at Target or something. Same music taste, same clothes, same type of vehicle, same surface level topics of conversation, same haircut, same black pleather couch in their same apartment, etc. And absolutely none of the traits were things I was into at all. I've dated several gamers. I have zero issue with gaming itself except for one person I dated. You would constantly scream and rage at the top of their lungs while playing. They seemed to be confused when I'd be like, hey, screaming obscenities at the top of your lungs in my home isn't cool. Stop it, because they were like, it's just catharsis. I don't mean it. I don't care. We are grown-ass people. It's not so much the hobby itself, but how someone engages in it that might affect their dating prospects. Hobbies like extreme gaming, obsessive collecting, or activities that consume all their time without leaving room for a partner can make someone appear undateable. It's all about balance and being able to share interests with a potential partner. Any hobby that one is arrogant and gatekeeping about, crystals, Warhammer, plants, whatever it is. If liking it is a requirement of our being friends or partners, then I'm out. I want to experience your passion for it, not be judged for my ignorance of it. Being heavily addicted to any type of MMO, Final Fantasy, World of Warcraft, etc. Usually indicative of other types of addictive tendencies, and usually comes within prioritizing the game over anything including you or even themselves. Not a hobby. But if a person claims to have shopping as a hobby, it's a no-go. Like if shopping is a hobby, then drinking a glass of water is a hobby too. We need to shop for groceries and whatnot. Calling a hobby is incorrect. To me personally, it'd be someone who argues for fun or to win. The lawyer type of person whose hobby is getting into arguments online and winning them. In my experience, that's the most exhausting type of person there is. Those people who travel around the country attending Trump hate rallies over and over and over again come to mind. What a fucking bizarre and concerning way to spend your time. Those people are just not right in the head. Video game addiction. Nothing wrong with enjoying them in increments or with friends. But if you are parked in front of a screen for hours on end, multiple days a week, it's a no from me, dog. If they trophy hunt, I don't mind if you do enjoy hunting and bring home meat to eat, but those that just do it to mount a head on a wall, they disgust me and are immediately off my list. Stalking then kidnapping unsuspecting travelers in an attempt to get a large sum of money from their families just are ultimately kill them regardless after the money has been secured. One of my main hobbies is pool, which means I'm very often at a pub. Means I'll come home hours later reeking of booze and cigs. I reckon not many people would like that about me, hahaha. Honestly, it's worse being with someone who has no hobbies or interests, especially when you try to introduce them to yours and they just don't care enough to try it. With you, none. I don't really care what hobby someone has, but they've got to have something they're interested in. People with no hobbies at all that just live to work are boring. Gym brothers. They work out way too much and they usually have eating disorders. Edited to add, I meant bodybuilders, not gym brothers. I was wrong with the terminology. Dated a girl who loved fishing. Now when I say love, she loved it. Like wake up at 4 in the morning to drive 40 minutes to the lake every Saturday, loved it. Traveling. Now hear me out. I enjoy traveling, but those who make their summer in Southeast Asia their entire personality are generally insufferable. Dog fighting, Social media influencer. Someone who has a lot of pets but doesn't take proper care of them. Anyone who actually enjoys Monopoly. DNA tracking and obsessing over the DNA results of multiple testing companies to see if you could possibly get that one a victim. Casual sex by definition. Constant hookups and all that. Well, I guess they are dateable by non-monogamous PPL. But that ain't me. For me, it's astrology. No astrologist would want to date me anyways because I happen to be born during shit star placement. I'd run away fast from someone who collects Nazi memorabilia. Collecting Soviet memorabilia would definitely be a red flag. I do not have a problem with the animal, but I've had some weird experiences with men who have pit bulls. So that. Banjo metal. Farming monkeys. Smoking. Drinking. Gambling. Quoting religious scripture, prayer, shooting figurines. I think most hobbies are fine. There'd have to be something quite niche or bizarre for it to make someone undateable. People who hurt their animals. I know it's not a hobby, anything, but it's just so terrifying and unforgivable. Anon. People who are into anon tend to lack social skills and demonstrate a higher rate of pedophilic tendencies. Upholstering furniture with human skin. I dunno. Something about that just seems a little off. Could just be me. I dated a girl who collected flags. I thought I could make it work, but there were too many red flags for me. Warhammer. Not because the hobby itself is cringe, but because they can't afford to go on dates anymore. If they play sports, I just can't risk having to go sit through a baseball game. It doesn't seem worth it. Collecting expensive luxury items like high-end watches, or cars for men or designer handbags for women. Neagent pseudoscience. It just tells me that their process of understanding reality is all wrong. This one is not going to be popular. At motorcycles. I don't want to fall for a future organ donor. Collecting giant insects and other arthropods. I feel like that puts you in a pretty small niche. Smoking. I can't stand a woman who's leaving in the middle of the party to check on her brisket. Video games. Just so time-consuming and boring. Sitting on a couch for hours clicking buttons. Drinking alcohol if you enjoy it. That's fine. If it's your hobby, that's a red flag. I'm married now, but one of my few rules was to not pursue women that were into horses. Collecting shoes. I hate that ... No, I just wanted to make women sweat a little. Personally, religion. If the time spent is enough to be considered a hobby, I'm out. Anything firearm related and doomsday prepping. Those are huge red flags for me. Stocks Bitcoin. A lot of those guys are so obsessed with it. It's unhealthy, undateable, or unbangable. Because those things may not be the same. Alt-right views. MAGA type. Conspiracy theory follower. Gun collection. I'm a drinking, smoking, gamer Catholic with guns and taxidermy. Oh. Asking questions on a Reddit that have been asked 10,000 times already. Flat earther. Newer Earth creationist. Excessive reality TV consumer. Spending time in bars and nightclubs. Collecting sexual partners. If she has a flask in her purse, if she has a drinking problem. Crafting elaborate toenail sculptures of serial killers' faces. Hunting or guns. It's just something I can't relate to at all. Posting pics of themselves online. Attention-seeking behavior. Drinking heavily as a daily hobby pretty much does it for me. People who smoke weed that make it their whole personality. Hunting. Anyone who kills animals for fun is a sick person. It's not a hobby. But anyone who thinks body count matters. For me, personally, hunting, it would be a deal breaker. People who are into ragabate political entertainment, Dungeons and Dragons, and anything to do with horses. A person who collects serial killers' collectibles. No mention of My Little Pony. Where my bronies are.